Hi guys, Kamisha here. So today we're going to go through how I do my eyeshadow and foundation. So we're going to start off with the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in the shades NC45 and NC42. This is a nice little mixture for me. And then I go in with the Morphe E14 brush and I basically just blend it out. But while I'm blending it out, I also tug it down because it seems to give me like a smooth canvas to work with. So that's the way I do it. So yeah, I just blend, make sure everything is nice and seamless. And then I'm gonna go in with the Laura Mercier powder. I think that's the shade Translucent. And then I just put that all over and set it. And this was actually my first time using the powder, and it was so good and so smooth. I used the E30 brush by Morphe to set it. And now I'm going in with the Norvina palette. And for my brow bone, I used the two shades Dreamer and Summer. And then I'm also taking another shade from the Norvina palette. It's the shade Eccentric. It's like a yellowish, orangish, like almost mustardy looking color. I can't explain it. But yeah, so that's my first transition color. And I went in with the Morphe, I believe that's the E22 brush. I think that's the E22. Next, I'm taking the Morphe Night Master N15 palette. And then I went in with the shade Cliche. And I went in with the Morphe E27 brush. Yeah, that's what I went in with, the E27. So you basically just see me, what I'm doing here is I'm just building up the color. Like at first, it was there, but it wasn't like, as vibrant as I wanted it to be. So I just went in and I kept building up the colors. Then I went back in with the shade Eccentric because I feel like, every time you place a new shadow, you got to make sure you don't lose the old shadow. So I went back in to make sure it was still there. And then I went back into the palette and I used the shade Scene. Yeah, I use the shade Scene. It's like a darkish purplish color. So I had to build that color up a lot too. And then you guys will see that I basically went back in with the previous color Cliche to make sure that I blended out Scene good enough, because that color was a little bit hard to work with. And then also I went back in with Eccentric to make sure that the color Cliche was blended out. So I'm going to cut my crease with the same MAC Pro Longwear concealer mix that I've been using. And, I get that sometimes I may cut my crease and I put it on my lid and then I'll look up to see where it marks, but I didn't want to do that today. Today I just decided to just draw a line over where it's hooded at because I didn't want to go through all that. And then I just basically filled it in. And you're going to see me doing the same thing for both eyes. And I know like my cut crease looks horrible right here and that's because there's not a mirror in front of me. Like I do some of it on camera just so you guys can get like a little bit of what I do, but I'm gonna basically, you know, leave and then come back, and then you're gonna be able to see like how I cut the crease. Like when I cut my crease, I need to be really, really close to the mirror because it works better that way for me. So I left, went to go find a mirror, and then I came back, and then you guys will see right about now. See, they look a little more, you know, straight now. So I ended up going in with the Soft Glam palette by ABH. I used the black shade out of that palette, and I believe the name of it is Noir or Noir, one of them, I'm not sure. Anyways, then I decided to go back in with the Scene from the Morphe palette, and then I went back in with Cliche from the Morphe palette, and you'll see me just placing the shadows right now, and then I go back later and then I blend them out. Then I decided to go in with Rose Pink from the Soft Glam palette by ABH, which is like a really, really, really pretty color. I don't even think the camera is like doing it justice. It looked so much better in person. It was really pretty. And you'll see that I left the beginning of my eyes blank, and the reason I did that is because I decided to go in with the same mixture I used for my brow bone, the color Dreamer and the color Summer from the Norvina palette by ABH, and that was really pretty too. So now that basically all my shadows are laid down, you'll basically just see me going back in, you know, tightening stuff up, blending stuff out, you know, just regular stuff, just making sure it looks, you know, the way it's supposed to. So now, after all the blending, I'm gonna take a break, and then I'll leave, put on my lashes, do my liner, and I use Kat Von D tattoo liner to do my liner, and my lashes, I totally forgot the name of it. So now we're going in with Fenty Beauty's primer, which I love. It's so good. I really love this primer. So you'll just see me just rubbing it in, just blending it, you know, into the skin basically. And now we're going in with the MAC Prep and Prime. I'm not sure what shade this is, but you can see it's pretty orange, and I just use this to color correct. That's the only thing I use this for. So I'm blending that out with the Real Technique concealer brush. And now I'm going to be going in with the Bobbi Brown foundation, which I pretty much always use. I need to get a new foundation because I love this one. I use it so much. Now I'm going in with the Morphe M444 brush, and I'm going to use that to blend out the foundation. This is actually a new brush. Like, this is my first time using it in this video, and I really like it to blend out my foundation because it's so dense, you know? I mean, you got to be careful not to leave streaks, but it's really dense, and I feel like it, you know, blends the concealer. It blends the foundation out really nice. Now I'm going to be going in with a Black Opal foundation stick. I don't know what shade that is. I just picked one that was basically dark enough to contour. I'm not sure what shade it is. But yeah, you'll see me putting the marks everywhere they need to be. And then I'm going in with Fenty Beauty's concealer in the shade Caramel. And I just put that in all the areas that I highlight. And then I take my Real Technique stippling brush and I go and blend out the foundation stick. I tried to put my contour a little bit higher in this video because I saw like a YouTuber say like, you know, that's a good way to get your face nice and snatched. So I tried it out. I don't know. To me it looked pretty much the same, but you know. Now I'm going in with the NARS concealer. This is also in the shade Caramel. And that's the Creamy Radiant concealer. I like to put my concealer directly under my eyes. I don't stretch it all the way out, you know, towards my face because I feel like my face is already long, so I don't want the concealer to make it look long and wide. So I'll just put it right under my eye, and that blends out really good for me. And I'm going in and I'm blending out the contour, the nose contour. And I use the same Real Technique concealer brush. And now I'm going in with the Real Technique sponge. And I'm blending out my concealer. You see how when I blend out my concealer, it goes right to the end of like my brow, and it pretty much stops there. That's why I put it directly under my eye, because it spreads right to where I need it to spread, if that makes any sense. And then you see, it just blends exactly the way it's supposed to. Now I'm going back in with the Real Technique stippling brush just to make sure I blended out the contour to the best of my ability. And then I go back in with the sponge before I go set it to make sure there's no lines there. Make sure I'm not setting any lines or wrinkles or creases. To make sure I'm not setting any creases. Now I'm going in with the ABH contour kit, and I slowed this part down a little bit just so you guys can see how blended my eyeshadow is. See it from the side? It's so blended, like I love it. Anyways, I went in and I contoured, and I'm also going to use this to bronze my face. So now I'm going in and I'm setting my contour with the Real Technique concealer brush. I use that a lot this video. Anyways, I always feel like I do that too harsh, so I go back in with my foundation brush and then I just make it a little softer. And then you'll see me dusting off the Laura Mercier powder that I had in my highlighted areas. And now I'm going in with MAC NW45 to basically just add some color back where I had that setting powder. And then I'm going in with Morphe's Continuous Setting Mist. This is my first time using that in this video. And you gotta be careful with it. It worked good, but you gotta be careful because it will make your hair, like if your hair is anything, like, you know, if you got a weave like me, it made my hair so frizzy. So I was like, oh my God. Like you can see how wet my hair. It's crazy, but I went back. So I pulled out the ABH Sun Dip Glow Kit, but before that I had to go in with Fenty Beauty's Rum highlighter, because I like that as a base, and then I like to put a highlighter over it. So the two highlighters that I mixed out of the Sun Dip Glow Kit was Summer and Tourmaline. So I felt like that matched my brow bone highlight, and then the color on my lid, the color that's close to my inner corner. So that's the reason I chose to go in with those two. So you'll see me just basically glowing up my whole face. And now you're gonna see me toning it all down because I always OD. That's all I do. Now you'll see me lining my lips with the NYX brown liner. I'm not sure what's the name of it, but I know it's a brown liner. And then I decided to go in with the Pink Print by Nicki Minaj. And you'll see me blotting. That's the best way to get your lipstick and your liner blended. Just blot, blot, blot. And then I went in with Marc Jacobs Enamored Lip Gloss in the shade Pretty Thing. That's my favorite lip, like that's my go-to. Then I'm going in with a little bit more liner because it was looking way too pink for me. Now I am lining my waterline, and that's a Lorac pencil that came in the Pirates of the Caribbean eyeshadow palette. I gotta use that palette. And then I went back in with a Scene from the Morphe palette. And then I smoked out Scene with Cliche. So I was not able to do my my bottom lashes on camera, but I took pictures of the look, and this is what we have. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.